going to remove the wheel. Use a 22mm socket. Take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. Now use a 13mm socket. Take these two bolts out. And if the slide pins are spinning, then you can use a wrench on those or some pliers. And just take a screwdriver and just pry between the rotor and the caliper a little bit. Then you can slide the caliper off. And use a brake caliper hanger and support it on the coil spring. Make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. Now take the brake pads off. You can use a straight blade screwdriver and just pry them out. Now take these two bolts out for the caliper bracket. Use an 18mm socket. Take those bolts out and slide the brake caliper bracket out. Now we're going to take the rotor off. We're going to use a T30 socket to take this screw out. Now you can take a wire brush or a grinder wheel and just clean up some of the rust that's on the hub. We're going to take some anti-seize and just put a thin coat on the hub. It's just going to prevent corrosion. I'm going to take the rotor, just put it on backwards first. Take some brake parts cleaner, wash off the backside, and wipe with a rag. And flip it around. Make sure you get that bolt hole to line up with the threaded hole. And clean this side off as well. Take that screw, get that started. Not too tight, just snug it. That's good. Now we're going to clean up this caliper bracket. Take a straight blade screwdriver. Get underneath the pad slides right here, or pad clips. Slide those off. Take a wire brush. Just clean up any rust buildup right here. Take some brake caliper grease. Take the new clips, slide them in position, just like that, and then do the same on the other side. And just take and put a nice thin coat of caliper grease right there where the pads are going to slide. Now take the guide pins out. Slide the boot off. Take a little brake parts cleaner, clean off the grease. If it was extremely corroded, you're going to want to clean down in there as well. Use a wire brush and some brake parts cleaner. Now, brake caliper grease and grease it up. That's good. Slide it back in and make sure the boot set is seated, and do the same on the other side. Take the brake caliper bracket, slide it over the rotor. You can use some thread lock adhesive on the bolts if you want. Slide those in position. Torque these bolts to 148 foot-pounds. Take the brake pads. The one with the squealer is going to go on the inboard side at the top. And install these. Take the brake caliper. You can take the hanger off. And we want to compress the pistons. Use a brake caliper compressing tool. And slowly compress the pistons. Take your brake caliper, slide it over the brake pads. And take the bolts, get the bolts started. Now torque this bolt to 44 foot-pounds, and you can use a 19mm wrench to hold the stud from spinning. And same on the top. Put the wheel up. And put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque the lug nuts to 111 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Now just go around, double check, make sure. After you're done, make sure you pump the brake pedal nice and slow. There's going to be an air gap between the brake caliper piston and the brake pad. Then check your brake fluid level and adjust accordingly.